What's up, party people? Welcome to my channel. I'm Tamara, and today we're going to be talking about the narcissist and the empath. And so if you want to see more videos like this one, be sure to hit the thumbs up, share it with your friends so they can learn about these types of people. And without further ado, let's get into this topic because I think it's a very interesting one. It's like putting oil and water together and they don't mix. It's like hot and cold. Like you can't get more opposite than the empath and the narcissist, right? And do you think that empaths and narcissists like each other? They probably have a very strong dislike for each other, right? Like they're going to be allergic to each other. Yes, they can coexist, but it just really depends. You can get situations where the narcissist is just so repulsed by the empath that they treat them like dirt. The empath could also do the same thing where they just can't stand the narcissist. They just want to get away from them. So let's look at some definitions of what these two are. So basically, empath, the word comes from empathy. What is empathy? Empathy is the capacity to understand or feel what another person is experiencing from within their frame of reference. That is, the capacity to place oneself in another's position. And that comes from Wikipedia. What's crazy is that actually the opposite can happen. An empath and a narcissist could fall head over heels, madly in love with each other. Can you imagine that? Ugh. I mean, what a combination. How in the world could that happen? I think it's because the narcissist can be incredibly charming. The empath may be empathic because perhaps they were raised by someone with some type of personality disorder, and so they learn to deeply care, or they become enmeshed or codependent, which means that they are subconsciously trained to rescue someone, probably a parent figure, and then they spend their lives rescuing people. They have to really work hard to undo that. And so it really, the empath and the narcissist relationship really sets up a pattern that seems to work in the beginning, but could become extremely toxic and crazy if they're not careful. I would rather see an empath and narcissistic friendship than a love relationship, because relationships, romantic relationships can be so intoxicating and deep. And even when you have two normal, average people without personality disorders, we're all highly sensitive when it comes to relationships. We can get deeply hurt. We can be overly sensitive to the smallest of things. And so you put that combo in a romantic relationship and you're going to get destruction all over the place. And so the narcissist is going to be attracted to that empath originally, because the empath probably knows how to dig deep. They're going to figure out some things that are, hey, this person seems to need me in some way, or I can see some things or some ways that I can help the person. They're also probably going to be very complimentary and make the narcissist's ego soar high above the roof because they're used to meeting people's needs, making people feel special and wanted and desired. And that is what the narcissist wants. They want to be highly and deeply admired above everyone else. They want to be a rock star. They want the power. They want to be leaders that take control of everything. And so that relationship can become toxic because it is also a dance floor in which the narcissist can tap dance all over the empath's heart, belittle them, degrade them, put them down because they are opposites, right? So let's look at the narcissist, okay? Narcissist is defined as a person who has excessive interest in or admiration of themselves. That is how it is defined. I have trouble with that definition. I'm not saying that that's not the definition. I guess you have to say narcissistic personality disorder to get the full picture. But many narcissists, you can meet some narcissists that are just braggadocious and I'm so amazing and look at how beautiful I am and look at this watch and look at my purse and look at my shoes and look at my hair and isn't it so great and don't you love this about me and that about me? Yeah, everyone has heard of the person that went on a date with someone who only talked about themselves. But I think, I'm not going to say most narcissists, but a lot of narcissists do not present that way. They can present as very average, very normal. I mean, you might notice that they have some qualities that make them look good, but others of them don't put their looks in the forefront. It could be intelligence or it's a disorder. So they're not necessarily thinking of themselves in that way. Some of them are focused on outward appearance, but there's a subtlety about it. Like they've learned that in society, you don't brag about how you look and how wonderful you are. You just surround yourself with people who will compliment you and tell you those things automatically. There's another layer to narcissists, which is the meanness and the cruelty that definition does not cover. Plenty of narcissists, they may feel that way on the inside, but they don't necessarily project it on the outside. I can take some narcissists and ask people, does this person seem to be leading with their looks? Do they seem to want excessive admiration? And the answer to that would be, no, not necessarily. They seem kind of down to earth when it comes to that. But what does stick out is the rudeness, the disrespect, the mistreatment of people, the putting down, the bullying, the I need power, I need to be in a leadership position, I'm going to push everybody out of my way, belittling others, intimidating people, demeaning people. When I think of narcissists, that's what I think of. And yet, the narcissists that lead with their looks, the ones that I've seen, they usually come across quite nice and easy to get along with. And they have to be triggered. There usually is a trigger point. And so they can fool people unless you get really close to them, which is why dating is so important. You really need to get to know somebody and see them in different settings and situations and how they deal with certain situations and what happens when they're triggered. We can all get triggered into anger. It's one of the emotions that we all feel, but how do they treat people, And that's what you need the opportunity to see, because a lot of narcissists, they fly under the radar. Unless you have to work closely with them, be in a relationship with them, you could be one-on-one and then get with a group of people, and that's when they attack you or try to make you feel stupid. In a work situation, they could be triggered because, hey, I don't want to look dumb. I don't understand how to do this. I need you to do this for me, and you're not doing it. And, or they feel slighted in some way, and it's totally irrational. So irrational that it's ridiculous. And you try to explain the other person's point of view to them, and they so don't get it. There's a difference in being angry, because we all misunderstand each other from time to time. But this is different. It's like you're breaking something down that's so simple because they are easily slighted. And that's going to make them hate you. And it's hard to get to get past that. Okay. So, yeah. So, anyway, yeah, when you get an empath and a narcissist together, even if it's in a work situation, that narcissist, some narcissists will absolutely attack the empath every chance they get. Every chance. In front of people, the empath can say the exact same thing that they say, and they will attack, attack, attack. You may be wondering if you're an empath. Empaths naturally have a lot of empathy. They can also feel very overwhelmed by intimacy and closeness, and that's because their tank is usually full. They're probably codependent. They are taking in so many different people's emotions, feeling everything. And, that's kind of similar. The narcissist feels a lot, and so does the empath. The narcissist can feel the slightest of slights. And what happens is that makes them feel empty inside when they feel like someone is slighting them or putting them down. Empaths may not like crowded places. They may have a hard time not caring about people or withdrawing their caring because it feels so overpowering to care about people. They can't really separate themselves from someone else's issues. And people usually confide in them, tell them their problems, because the empath makes them feel really, really good. Putting an empath and narcissist, they are the opposites, because narcissist, high functioning narcissist can care, and I'm saying this carefully, but some of them do care about, when something bad happens to someone. Narcissists have the capacity to care. It's not like they are antisocial personality disorder. They can actually feel, they just are allergic to it. These are also very damaged people. They've been very hurt, generally speaking. More than likely, they probably have a parent that also has a narcissistic personality disorder. And so they've been parented in a very harsh way, or they've experienced some trauma. I would just say, like I said, I think with a high functioning narcissist, an empath could be friends with them once they reach some understanding, because the narcissist is probably going to do some things. That's why it's called a personality disorder, because they're going to take some punches, right? So they have to kind of reach an understanding of respect. And I think narcissists can learn to follow some guidelines and some rules. So if you want me to do more videos on the narcissist and the empath, let me know by giving the thumbs up. Please share this video with people. I think they will really enjoy it. And I think people need to be educated on these types of people so that they can protect themselves and they can understand situations that are confusing and damaging. So definitely check out my book, The Workplace Narcissist. It is about a specific type of narcissist who you could also be in a romantic relationship with. So I think you will find it extremely helpful. And I will see you on the next video. Please subscribe. Bye, everyone.